next Labour Prime Minister and leader of the Labour Party.
COVID has overshadowed his whole time as Labour leader. Keir Starmer's team say that's held him back. This was Keir Starmer's moment to connect with the voters Labour lost and tell a divided party where he wants to take it.
I've waited 17 months, 25 days and 2 hours to appear in front of you in this hall as leader of our great party.
An early sign of intent, he welcomed back Jewish former Labour MP Louise Ellman to the party. She'd quit over Jeremy Corbyn's handling of anti-Semitism.
Welcome home.
And as he went on to blame Labour's disastrous general election result on Jeremy Corbyn's 2019 manifesto, there were red cards waved and heckling from some on the left.
To the voters that thought we were unpatriotic or irresponsible, or that we looked down on them, I say these simple but powerful words. We will never, under my leadership, go into an election with a manifesto that is not a serious plan for government. That's why it's been so important to get our own house in order this week, and we have done that. This is a... At this time on a Wednesday, it's normally the Tories that are heckling me. Doesn't bother me then. Won't bother me now.
The heckling was expected, the put-downs pre-scripted. Keir Starmer's aides said the friction helped him get his message across.
Family life taught me about the dignity of work and the nobility of care. Conference, as I say, slogans or changing lives. Slogans we can chant all day. We can chant all day.
Tributes to New Labour's time in office had gone out of fashion under Jeremy Corbyn's leadership, but Keir Starmer even flirted with reviving one of Tony Blair's favourite slogans.
Education is so important. I'm tempted to say it 3 times. Let me offer the Conservative Party a lesson in levelling up. If they want to know how to do it, I suggest they take a look at our record the last time we were in government. Rough sleepers down 75%. A national minimum wage.
Attacking Boris Johnson, he mocked his handling of the fuel crisis.
Level up, you can't even fill up.
Keir Starmer cast himself as Mr. Clean, the former Director of Public Prosecutions, taking on a murky government under Boris Johnson. He distanced himself from his deputy Angela Rayner, who described the Prime Minister as scum.
I don't think Boris Johnson is a bad man. I think he's a trivial man. I think he's a showman. He's a showman with nothing left to show. He's a trickster who's performed his one trick. Once he'd said the words, "Get Brexit done," his plan ran out.
Where's Peter Mandelson?
Where's Peter Mandelson? The heckler shouted. Some on the left convinced their leader is in his grip. Keir Starmer spoke of his passion for social justice and his own humble origins.
I'm not from a privileged background. My dad was a tool maker. Although, in a way, so was Boris Johnson's.
He praised the army's role in Afghanistan. He said Labour would return to Tony Blair's tough-on-crime message. No name check for Mr. Blair himself, but a clear steer towards some of his political playbook.
Work, care, equality, security. These are the tools of my trade, and with them, I will go to work. Thank you, conference.
You feel you've got your party back right now after that speech.
Yes.
But there are a few people who struggled to applaud the mention of your name. What does that tell you?
It tells me the problem has not fully gone away.
That wasn't a business as usual speech. That was a turning point, a transformational moment in the Labour Party's history.
Jeremy Corbyn's in the rearview mirror now.
We've got to
the left is back in its spot.
Leaving the past firmly behind.
Allies of Jeremy Corbyn said at the time Keir Starmer never said a word against the 29 election campaign he now attacks.
Do you feel he wants the left to stay in this party?
You have to ask him that. I think there's lots of the actions suggest that they may not.
One senior aide to the leader said he looked forward to a membership transfusion with new blood coming in to replace the old. Gary Gibbon, Channel 4 News, at the Labour Party conference in Brighton.
Earlier, I spoke to Bridget Phillipson, the Shadow Chief Secretary to the Treasury. I started by asking her why voters would be attracted to a party that heckles its own leader.
The atmosphere in the hall was absolutely brilliant, really positive. And it's been like that all week. You know, I thought Keir set out a tremendous vision about how we can make sure that every child gets the best possible start in life, that we tackle climate change, but also create lots of great jobs in every part of our country and make sure that our NHS can always be there for us when we need it. I think we saw that side of Keir around his background, what shaped him and the kind of politician that he's become. And I think he showed that he's a really serious politician and a serious politician who wants to see Labour back in government.
Do you think he has done enough to lay the Corbyn ghost?
I think Keir has set out how he's changed the Labour Party. We're a different party. We've turned a page. But also how, as a Prime Minister of our country, he could change our country too. So not just changing the Labour Party, changing our country with everything he set out today. A really positive, hopeful and optimistic vision. That's what I hoped we'd hear, and that was absolutely what we got today from Keir. What about the £15 minimum wage that the party has been wrangling over? We all want to see well-paid jobs in every part of our country. We're all committed to that. You know, that's what all of us came into the Labour Party to achieve. And as Keir set out today, we want to make sure that there are good, well-paid jobs in every corner of our country, and that's what a Labour government will do. But one of the problems is funding, obviously. How you're going to fund what he set out as quite an ambitious programme. Everything that Keir has set out today has been costed and is consistent with the fiscal rules that Rachel Reeves, our Shadow Chancellor, set out just on Monday. We take it incredibly seriously, how we spend taxpayers' money, that we get real value for every pound that we spend, that we will always do that from opposition, but most importantly, we will always do that from government as well. Do you leave Brighton absolutely convinced that there is now party unity over the question of the minimum wage? I believe that as a party we have been and will always be focused on making sure that we've got well-paid jobs right across our country. We're all in the same place here. You know, we all want to make sure that we increase pay, that, you know, families can keep more of what they earn. A Labour government will be taking action to make sure that families that work hard are well rewarded. You have called the social care tax unfair. What is your policy? It is unfair because not only does it mean that working families and businesses will be paying a really difficult price when we've seen so much getting more expensive, but it's not even a plan. It's not going to fix the NHS. There is no plan for social care. It won't help social care workers. It won't give them better pay, but also it won't deliver any real improvements to social care. We think that taxation should be spread more evenly, that those with the broader shoulders should make a fair contribution, and that's why this week we've set out a different approach, you know, taking away the charitable status of private schools, closing the loopholes where it comes to private equity, and putting that back into supporting the next generation and providing opportunity across our country. The truth is that these red wall voters are not coming back because you don't have the policies to bring them back. Well, I think we've seen a really exciting vision set out today from Keir that will do precisely that. But, you know, of course, you know, we suffered a terrible defeat back in 2019. We always knew it was going to be a big and difficult job ahead to win back the trust of the British people. But I think we've started to do that. I think they're looking at us again. And I think with the message that we're taking out of conference around backing working people, supporting businesses, getting the best possible opportunities for all of our young people, wherever they are and whatever part of the country they happen to live. That's what you get from a Labour government, and that's the difference that we would make.
Bridget Phillipson, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you.